think when you're an artist and you do another record, you're supposed to show different sides of you. I mean, it would get boring if you just kept showing the same face. Boo, nobody wants to see that.
I understood where she was going with it. It's also a commentary on I feel, the sexism in the business where women are kind of boxed in, you know, and it's like, if you really want to break out of that box that you've been given, you gotta, you know, get a weave, you gotta get fake boobs, you gotta take off your clothes. But I think that it shocked a lot of people, you know, when Toni did that, because it was extreme difference. It was like she went from the short hair to the long weave. She went from, you know, really kind of sexy but conservative look to like no clothes on.
I thought it was a little early, but I wasn't surprised by it. I think a lot of female artists tend to, you know, the clothes get tighter, the hair gets longer.
Secrets was even a bigger hit for Toni than her first album, going multi-platinum and selling 8 million copies. It also earned her 4 Grammy nominations and 2 wins on Grammy Night 1997. One for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance for Unbreak My Heart, and another for Best Female R&B Performance for You're Making Me High. By 1998, Toni was a superstar. Her 2 albums together had sold over 15 million copies and had grossed an estimated $170 million worldwide, making her one of the industry's most successful recording artists of all time. But citing an unfair record contract with LaFace, Braxton sued the label in late 1997. LaFace countersued in early 1998, and in February of that year, Toni filed for bankruptcy protection in Los Angeles, shocking fans and the entertainment world.
I think in the business side of it is that, you know, there were misunderstandings and there were things that just were unclear.
An artist like Toni Braxton or any artist can avoid that type of situation if they read and understand the contract and they understand that the music industry is a business and a record label in some ways is a bank. They are giving you a loan. When they advanced her $3, $4, $5 million to make her albums and videos in the 90s, that was a loan. That wasn't free money.
So many artists in the 90s signed bad record deals.
We watched her go through it, and I'm sure that was hard, but it was a lesson for everybody else, you know, to cross your T's, make sure, you know, make sure you're handling your finances and make sure you're not overspending.
Once you start going platinum, million records, double platinum, triple platinum, Toni Braxton's case, you're now up to 8, 9, 10 million records. That's domestically, and God knows how many millions overseas. You start to look at, okay, the CD costs this amount of money. Why am I getting this percentage of it for each record sale? The most well-meaning record executives, let's just put it that way. It could be Motown, LaFace, you know, you take your pick, Bad Boy, all of them, you know, have been able to be successful because a lot of artists simply don't know what they're getting themselves into.
I think for Toni, being a part of the LaFace family, she looked at it as LaFace family, like they were family, like we are family, and how we used to sing and work together. When that happens, I think that you get kind of jaded with the business. You know, you don't look at it as a business, and that's exactly what it is.
We were all like family, you know, so there's emotion tied into every single part of anything when you're in that type of a situation.
She probably got wrapped up in the whole friendship side and trusting side and not looked at it as, this is my business, this is my life.
Toni's financial woes and her ongoing dispute with LaFace took a toll on her and those closest to her.
Toni was in pain and was explaining a lot of things to me. I was just devastated. I was just devastated. Even the fact of them that she had to take them to court. She was so hurt about that, you know, because she didn't want to do that. But you do what you, and like I told her, I said, sweetheart, you do what you gotta do. It's business.
Watching Toni go through the whole bankruptcy thing, it wasn't just about money. It was about her feelings being hurt, pretty much, because she pretty much was in love with Ellie and Babyface. They were friends.
I was very disappointed, extremely disappointed, because Toni was very hurt. She trusted them a lot.
The whole Braxton clan looked at singing as not business, but something that we did. Oh, it's a business, ding dong, you know? Nobody told us that. So her lesson was actually our lesson.
So one thing I think I've learned in this business being a woman is that you have to fight a little harder being a woman. I think you have to be a little more firm. You have to have the reputation of being a bitch, unfortunately, to get respect. There are some women, people say, oh, she's such a bitch, and I go, I think she's just a chick trying to handle her business, because a guy can do and say the same thing, a guy artist even, and it's like it's okay because he's a guy.
While still embroiled in her legal fight with LaFace, in September 1998, Toni made history landing the lead role as Belle in the Broadway production of Disney's Beauty and the Beast.
I was the first African-American in a non-African-American role. I remember practicing and singing my songs, and they said, we need you to be more Disney. Disney, what do you mean Disney? I'm singing, there goes a baker with his tray like always, the same old bread and rolls to sell. No, we need you to be more Disney. Disney. There goes the baker with his tray like always, the same old bread and rolls to sell.
I'm telling you, I saw the show 13 times.
I would tell anyone that's getting into the Broadway world, it's the hardest thing you would ever do. It's the best discipline. I can do a show, I can go on tour as Toni Braxton on my show, do 5-6 shows a week, and that's nothing. And most people go, 5-6 shows is so much.
Broadway is pretty, strenuous.
She was disciplined and she was ready for it, and she did a good job.
In early 1999, Toni and LaFace finally reached a settlement on their legal dispute. And in 2000, Toni released her third album, The Heat, with the hit single, He Wasn't Man Enough for Me. While the album released by Arista was considered a disappointment compared to Toni's first records, Toni earned another Grammy for Best Female R&B Vocal for He Wasn't Man Enough. Next, Toni walks down the aisle and later finds the joys and challenges of motherhood.